welcome to Children's Corner. Children's Corner.
Day of January, the year 2024. It's good to have you watching us this evening. I hope you're well. We have a lot lined up for you this particular evening. Our reporters have been up and about, interacting with different people and different issues. They have brought you different stories, and here are the top ones. Five people perish in a grisly road accident in Timboroa, Mlango Tatu area. President William Ruto continues to defend his statement on rooting out corrupt judicial officers. Kindiki promises full-time operation against cattle rustlers in the northeastern region. And in sports, defender Antonio Rudiger helps Real Madrid to bag a 1-0 victory against Mallorca. This is KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. And my brother Sami Okello joins us in the sign language interpretation tonight. Welcome to the broadcast. At least 5 people have been killed in a grisly road traffic accident as others suffered serious injuries yesterday in Timboroa, Mlango Tatu area at around 1:40 a.m. or rather interpreted as this morning as well, as reported by the Kenyan National Police Service. The accident involved a Mitsubishi bus and 3 other vehicles, including a Toyota Probox. Following the increase of these traffic occurrences, Kenyans are urged to be on the lookout, especially drivers, to observe traffic rules as most lives depend on them. And President William Ruto continues to defend his remarks of streamlining the judiciary that was alleged to threaten judicial independence. Through a statement on his account on X, Ruto outlined that the impunity of bribing judges to sabotage Kenya's imminent transformation will never happen under his watch. This follows a statement issued by State House spokesman Hussein Mohammed yesterday, defending the president after the opposition leader Raila Odinga and the Chief Justice Martha Koome accused the president of trying to hijack the judiciary by intimidating judges and magistrates not to hear cases against his policies or to rule in his favor, thus compromising the rule of law and staging the country for anarchy. Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has promised a continuous operation against cattle rustlers in the northeastern region through partnered efforts with leaders in the region and security persons. Speaking in Mlango area in Isiolo, Kindiki expressed his commitment in ensuring the return of all stolen livestock. Listen in.
As cattle rustling and banditry continue to pose a threat to residents of the Northeast and North Rift region, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kutv has assured to take a different approach in implementing the operations meant to terminate the menace.
Safari hii ile operation tunaleta huku ni operation ya milele. Aishi.
In the operation, Kindiki has promised to use all possible means to eliminate the tiny bandit groups that pose a threat to residents, impeding the normalcy of the areas, which include businesses and transport.
Kufanya watu maskini, watu ambao walikuwa wametafuta riziki yao. Na wewe uko hapo umejificha kwa pango ati mlima fulani, tutakugonga kutoka juu.
In collaboration with leaders and security officers, Kindiki promised to forcefully recover all stolen animals and bring them back to their owners. However, he urged the youths to avoid participating in the outdated criminal practices in the name of culture.
Niko hapa kutoa hakikisho kwamba mifugo wote ambao wameibiwa kutoka sehemu hii tutawatafuta, tutawapata, tutawarejesha kwa wenyewe.
According to Kindiki, those leaders who diligently perform their duties in restoring peace and the stolen livestock shall be rewarded wholesomely, calling out on area chiefs who allow banditry to take place.
Mimi kama waziri wenu tutatoa pesa ya serikali kuwapatia nyinyi. Uende usaidiane na security officers na whatever engagement you want to have.
This comes 3 weeks after the looming possibility of national government imposing curfew in Isiolo and parts of Meru County in order to root out bandits and restore stolen livestock. The operation is therefore expected to intensify in the coming days following the collaboration between the local leaders and the security personnel. Anyango Sylvia, Kutv.
Now, as learners prepare to reopen schools for this year's first term next week, the government has been urged to increase capitation to enable smooth operation of Junior Secondary School JSS. Kenya Primary Schools Head Teachers Association KEPSHA Laikipia East representative, that is Peter Ndumia, speaking after an exercise to award Equity Bank Wings to Fly scholarships to 8 needy and bright learners in Nanyuki, said the capitation allocated to schools was not enough for the schools to operate normally. His sentiments come after the government announced it had released 7.6 billion shillings for Term 1 capitation for junior secondary schools. Rang in 2024 by attacking each other as Ukraine continues its quest to push invading Russian forces out. However, much of the drama around this conflict is centered in Washington, where Republicans are reluctant to grant President Joe Biden's increasingly urgent request. We shall be bringing you that story in much details, but right now we take a short break right here on KTV Primetime News. When we come back, we have more stories. Stay tuned. From the hospital corridors, we bring you experts to discuss issues affecting your health, from diet to mental health. The familiar and the ignored are both put into perspective. We then dive into the environment and look at the effects of climate change and its solutions. Join me, Mutegi K. Martin, every Friday at 9 p.m. as we learn on how to better our health while taking care of our environment. Only on KUTV.
So it's not the duty of the prosecutor to investigate. The prosecutor will only evaluate the evidence that has been brought forth by the investigative agencies. And that's why we criminal law practitioners take advantage. Yeah, because you know, you are here arguing this case with me, but you did not investigate.
You don't know what are the details
Yes.
in this particular case.
Yeah.
Shuhuda zako hazielezeki. Oh, umefanya hili, umefanya lile, umenipa jina Baba, nina kushukuru. What is this? A stick, right? And what has happened to the stick? Imevunjika, right? Follow me. They say broken things can't be fixed, right? But that's a lie. Kwani, why did Jesus die on the cross? It is so that those who are broken can be fixed. Now, that is why this program is here. Believe and live. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever, anybody who believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. Whosoever believes shall live. John 3:16. Catch me right here only on KUTV every single Sunday. Now, good news, there'll also be a subsequent series called Biblical Mathematics, but you'll only catch it right only on my YouTube channel at Believe and Live, John 3:16. See you there.
Hello everyone, this is the new chapter of Let's Be Fit. I'll be host DiCaplo. I'm here to give you various workouts. I'll be having different trainers. We'll have Zumba classes, we'll have aerobics classes, we'll have box exercise, we'll have kata box, just name them. The show comes every Thursday from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Keep it locked. Make sure we keep fit. And that's it. From me to you, let's be fit.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. Sami Okello and I are back to continue informing you on what's happening in the country and beyond. Remember, this live broadcast is also live on YouTube. That is at KUTV News Kenya. We move on, where police to Kenya in Siaya County have been accused of attempting to cover up the death of a man who was said to have died in the hands of the police. The West Ugenya Ward member of County Assembly, Odwor Odongo, led the area leaders in demanding for a multi-agency investigation into the matter. This and more in our county wrap.
Leaders in West Ugenya Ward in Siaya County have accused the police of an attempt to cover up the death of a man in Homo area, a death which is said to have been caused by the police. The leaders, led by the West Ugenya Ward member of County Assembly and Ericus Odwor Odongo, have joined the family of the late Austin Odhiambo, who died at the age of 36 years, in demanding for a multi-agency investigation into his death, which occurred outside his parents' gate at the Homo village in West Ugenya location.
I'm wondering why the OCS saw the court order that was stopping the repossession and proceeded with the repossession. And in his presence as the OCS, the officer commanding the station was present when this incident was happening. Actually, that I wanted to know. And this is a matter that will not be taken lightly.
According to the deceased family, Austin died in the hand of the police as he fell down from police vehicle which was in motion after police who was grabbing his hands released him from the vehicle.
Which happened when police officers were acting on a court order from a certain credit company. Polisi walikuwa wameenda kwa boma fulani kuchukua ng'ombe yale yalikuwa attached by the person who took a loan from a certain credit company.
I was supposed to invite the county commissioner.
In Embu County, the Embu Women Representative Njoki Njeru has launched a program to educate teenage mothers who dropped out of schools in the county. According to Njeru, the aim of the program is to ensure that the girls are self-reliant after completing education and securing jobs. Njoki Njeru met close to 100 teen mothers at Kangaroo School where she was accompanied by other stakeholders.
Mimi ni among wenye wamekuwa selected na hiyo program ya Women Representative. Kwangu mimi naweza sema nimefurahi sana kwa sababu hiyo mwaka moja yenye nilikuwa nimebakisha, at least nitapata chance ya kuimalizia ndo hata nipate a great future ahead. Plans zangu tu ni kurudi shule, ni focus na masomo ndo at least maisha yangu ikuwe poa na hata niweze kusaidia mtoto wangu baadaye.
Meanwhile, the Embu Law Courts have established special rooms where all children cases will be heard. The new children courtrooms were redecorated with bright colors and cartoon drawings to ensure that the specified children cases will be heard in a child-friendly environment.
Going forward, and with this court, let me say, which is child-friendly, and with the hope that we are going to get a witness box for the children, then the children will be able to come to court, assess justice, and in a friendly environment.
The Chief Magistrate of Embu, Francis Kambia, said this that will help the children to cope with trauma of being in court. Derek Odhiambo, KUTV.
And now back to our international story that I had highlighted before. Russia and Ukraine rang in 2024 by attacking each other as Ukraine continues its quest to push invading Russian forces out. And however, much of the drama around this conflict is centered in Washington, where Republicans are reluctant to grant President Joe Biden's increasingly urgent request.
A grim start to the year as Ukraine approaches the anniversary of the beginning of its grueling battle against Russia's February 2022 invasion. As the world welcomed the start of 2024, Moscow barraged the capital, Kyiv, and the northeastern city of Kharkiv. And Kyiv hit back, again striking Russia's border Belgorod region. But much of the drama behind this conflict is unfolding across the planet, in Washington, where leading Republicans hesitate to grant President Joe Biden's request for about $64 billion in military and government support for Ukraine. They cite concerns about accountability and whether the U.S. can afford to shoulder the burden. But the White House says it can't afford to wait.
For all the ballyhoo that I heard in the last few days about Mr. Putin and some press reports that he's all of a sudden willing to negotiate, he sure doesn't act like a guy who's willing to negotiate. He's doing everything he can to try to put the Ukrainians on their back feet, which is why it's so important that this supplemental funding request that the president put forward gets passed.
Military analysts say the situation on the ground looks like a stalemate, with the much smaller Ukraine showing great resolve against a much larger enemy.
Without U.S. aid, the Ukrainian military capability will decline, and eventually they will be unable to resist Russian attacks. Even now, they probably don't have enough munitions and supplies to launch a counteroffensive in a couple of months. They'll have a hard time even doing local counterattacks. I think that by late spring, they will be hard-pressed to hold the Russians back. So the battle about military aid is crucial to the future of the conflict.
Russian President Vladimir Putin recently vowed to continue the fight.
We will keep doing it. You probably noticed that the next day such strikes were made, and we are making them today, and we will do it tomorrow.
This conflict has captured global attention, with the leader of the Catholic faith using his platform to draw attention to the suffering.
And let's not forget those populations in war. War is folly. War is always a defeat. Always a defeat. Let's pray.
But prayers will only go so far here. What Ukraine says it needs, now, is weapons. Anita Powell, VOA News, the White House.
And a day after top Hamas leader was killed in an apparent Israeli drone strike in Beirut, U.S. officials say they are working to contain the spread of the Israel-Hamas conflict while continuing to urge Israel to safeguard Palestinian civilians. Take a look.
Hamas deputy leader Saleh al-Aruri was killed in a drone strike in the Lebanese capital of Beirut late Tuesday. A targeted killing Israel has neither confirmed nor denied. At the State Department on Wednesday, spokesperson Matthew Miller was asked whether the U.S. believes Israel was justified in killing Aruri. Miller had this answer.
I will say that he was a brutal terrorist with civilian blood on his hands, and I will leave it at that.
Experts say they are concerned the killing could trigger a wider regional war in the Middle East and stall negotiations for the release of the estimated 129 remaining hostages Hamas is holding in Gaza.
Because I think this potentially complicates any efforts at negotiations for hostage releases combined with a ceasefire, because this individual was a key conduit in those talks. He previously had lived in Qatar, and I think was seen as one of the key voices there.
Israel carried out new airstrikes Wednesday in the Gaza Strip, while the Israeli army said it was on high alert for attacks by the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah following the drone strike. One expert told VOA she believes Israel is listening to the U.S. and others who urged them to enter a more targeted phase of the war. But Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu must also weigh domestic political concerns.
And so I do believe Israeli leadership is hearing it. I think there are separate calculations going on politically inside Israel, and particularly by the Prime Minister, who has a deep interest in maintaining his own control of the government, even though latest polls show that I think most Israelis, he's got like maybe 15% support in total from the entire Israeli population. So he's looking to appease his right-wing members of his coalition in order to continue his role as prime minister.
The Israeli campaign to crush Hamas has left vast parts of the Gaza Strip in ruins. The health ministry in Hamas-ruled Gaza said the Israeli offensive has killed more than 22,000 people. Israel launched its offensive after the October 7th terror attack by Hamas that left about 1,200 people dead. Cindy Sain, VOA News.
24 minutes past 9 p.m. We take a second break here on KUTV Primetime News. A short one for that, and we shall be back in just but a bit. Stay tuned.
They are powerful and influential. They make decisions in politics, education, finance, agriculture, health, sports, and all aspects of human life. But the impact of their decisions falls on you, the common citizen. KUTV Primetime News Thursday. We ask bold questions and pursue answers to the core to bring you closer to the story. We couldn't have it any other way. Join me, Auma Evans, as I raise matters of social concern to raise your voice from the background to the foreground. Every Thursday and Saturday at 9 p.m. only on KUTV.
So my name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Welcome back. We're now up for some sporty action. Cameroon football team has agreed with Manchester United to allow its goalkeeper Andre Onana to leave for their AFCON games after Tottenham's game. Onana, who was called up for Cameroon's international duty in the upcoming AFCON tournament, is set to play 2 games in 24 hours. Elsewhere, Nigeria will miss the services of its midfielder Wilfred Ndidi, as he was reported to be suffering an injury which made him to be ruled out of the upcoming AFCON tournament. The AFCON tournament will kick off on the 13th, of this month in Cote d'Ivoire. And last night, German defender Antonio Rudiger helped Real Madrid to bag a victory against Mallorca after scoring a header goal through a cross from a corner kick by Luka Modric in a Spanish La Liga match, which ended with a 1-0 score. Elsewhere, Girona FC were able to maintain their second position in the La Liga standings after clinching a 4-3 victory against Atletico Madrid and now tying at 48 with Real. (29 p.m. Time for us to close the conversation just for tonight. Our news coverage resumes tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. with Mizizi Ya Habari. That is at 6:30 p.m. And then at 9 p.m. I will come back with KUTV Primetime News on tomorrow, which is Friday night, to be able to inform you on what is happening in the country and beyond. Be sure to stay tuned to KUTV, a new experience for programming that will entertain you and educate you in equal measure. We've come to the close of the conversation for now. My sign language interpreter tonight is Samuel Kelo, and my name is Mutegi K. Martin. Good night.
wa jamii ya kuhamahama. Na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok, hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
From the farm to the consumer, we explore agribusiness opportunities right here with you.
Changamoto lingine ni soko. Soko saa ingine bei inashuka tu drastic, kama saa hii hoho imeshuka chini.
On Money Monday, we